Started off promising for the Lakeland Rustlers men's volleyball team, but soon inexperience caught up with them. Head coach Taylor Dyer is hoping for a reversal of fortunes in the second half. The season started off so promising for you guys, a 4-0 start, and then something happened. You guys 8 straight losses. 4 of them, you only won 1 set. The other 4, you guys were shut out completely. So basically, in the simplest of questions, what happened?
You know what, I think a little bit of lack of experience on our side. We lost a starting spot. He had to go home due to some family stuff, and so I mean it was a big impact for our team, and so trying to fill those holes as we kind of on the fly, I think that was a bit of a struggle for us. And then just making sure that the guys kind of gelled and things were looking really good. And then, I mean, we played some of the more difficult teams in the second half, and the end result wasn't what we were llooking for.
So what do you think were some of the weaknesses your team showed in the first half that let you guys starting off so strong, but then faltering to a 4-8 record?
I think we weren't nearly as good on the defensive end of the ball as we needed to be. Offensively, we're great. We can hold our own with anybody. I mean, we do have the best player in the conference, so offensively we're perfectly fine. It was the defensive side of the ball, I think, that was a concern for us. And then the ability to get the ball to our attackers so that we could be successful. That was the big part for us, that we weren't able to really get those 2 phases of the game put together.
What do you need to get out of your boys to make up ground in the standings?
You know what, we just need to be a little bit better. I think there was a lot of matches that we played in the first half that if we're 5 or 10% better, it could have been our match to win. We just need to be a little bit better on our side of things and making less errors, and I think good things are going to happen.
And overall, just want to know, how would you have graded your team's effort in the first half?
That's a good question. I think there's a little bit of difference between grading our effort and grading what we've seen on the floor. I think our effort level has been great. I think every day guys are continuing to learn and get better, and that's all I can ask from this group. So I'm going to give our guys an A as far as their effort level and what they bring each day to try and get better. The product on the floor, on the other hand, I mean, we are 4-8, and I think that's not a representation of this group. I think we can be better than that, and so as far as our play, I think I'd give us probably more like a C+. Just 2 years removed from a national silver medal, Austin Dyer is building another contender this season. Moses Woldu sat down with the head coach of the women's volleyball team, Austin Dyer, to get his thoughts on the team's second half push.
If you had to give your team a grade in that first half of the year, what would it be?
In terms of work ethic, I think I would give us an A for sure. With the results that we came out with, maybe a B. At the same time, I think we did pretty good with what we had and what we were trying to accomplish. At the same time, there was a couple matches that we could have won that we didn't pull off at the end, and so if we sneak a couple of those out, our record's a little bit different. Puts us in a better spot heading into the second semester. But at the end of the day, we're 7-5. We did okay.
If you had to look at the first years that are kind of matured into the second years now, and of course, it's always nice to have a girl like Michelle Lang, and not to mention Laura Popplestone, some veterans who've been around and have the experience of winning. How have you seen the maturity process of those second years going forward?
It's a whole year of learning and figuring things out, and usually they don't really get a chance to play a whole lot. And whereas last year was a little bit of a different year, the rookies coming in were at a very high level, and athletically we're ready to step in right away. And so they played a whole bunch of last season and kind of led our team in terms of statistics and whatnot. That's what we've seen, especially in the second half of this first semester, is we had some ups and downs losing Shelby, and we had to change our focus to doing some different things, and we were in situations where we could win, but we didn't come through and didn't pull it off, and had to learn from those things and had to realize that we got to work harder. We have to earn everything that we're going to get. Nobody's going to give it to us, and once we started to figure those things out, girls started to work harder. The intent was a little bit different in the gym. Expectations were very high. we sit down and we discuss, what do we want to do with the season? What does our team look like? What do the other teams look like compared to last year? Where should we match up, and how should things go for us? And coming in, we were very confident that we should have a chance to win our league. For sure, get into a medal match, but definitely try to get to nationals, and that hasn't changed. Even though we had a bit of a rocky first semester, we're still in a position to qualify for the conference championships. And after the way that they went last year, there's a little bit of fire burning in the girls, that they want to get back there and they want to prove that they can win those playoff matches.
It's been an action-packed first half of the season for local sports, and it's going to be just as exciting as the teams fight their way for playoffs and championships. On behalf of Newcap Sports, thank you for watching. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and have a Happy New Year. Good night.